Arce.
Yo 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 yo.
Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday. Election day is here.
Yes, today is election day. It's Tuesday, election day. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all up and about? Y'all getting your out voting already? Or you heading to the polls? Good morning.
Polls
Yeah,
open
the
6
polls should be
a.m.
open right
Polls
now.
open 6 a.m. right now. Polls are open.
Yeah. Listen, man, I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here for another day to serve our beautiful listeners. And I hope that we, the people, us and our beautiful listeners, I hope we go out there and do our civic duty and serve our country today. Go out there and cast our votes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I tried to go Sunday, but I went a little too late, so I just missed the time. So I'm going to be going this morning. Charlamagne was going to try to go yesterday. Thank God I told him not to.
Hey, I saw people voting yesterday. You said you said that I know
New
they say
Jersey.
early voting closed, but I damn sure saw people voting yesterday.
In New Jersey?
It was new something. Might have been New York. Might have been New York. It might have been New York. I
I'm
don't
going
remember.
today too in Delaware.
Yes, New Jersey. You couldn't vote yesterday, but today is voting. Get your ass out there and vote today.
Nah, man, you got to go out there and do your civic duty. I know a lot of people out there feel different ways. Feel various ways and various feelings in regards to, does their vote count? Does their vote matter? I would tell you that yes, it does. Right? Because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't try so hard to stop you from doing it. So, and I'm a person that likes to complain. So being that I like to complain, I want to be able to participate in the process to be able to properly complain.
That's right. I heard a lot of people saying, they're in a state that's usually Democratic or a state that's usually Republican, and they're like, well, I don't want to vote. My state is already this anyway, or my state is that anyway. But no, it can switch. It can swap immediately. So get your ass out there and vote. Please.
Yeah, I just want us to have a free and fair election all across the board. I know that there's going to be election interference some places. There's going to be, voter suppression in some places. But, hey, man, the only defense that people usually have against voter suppression is large voter turnout. So go out there and do your civic duty. That's all I can tell you.
That's right. And tonight, I just want to remind you guys, let you guys know that the Breakfast Club and the Native Land Podcast will be doing a live coverage from D.C., right? So we're going to be headed to D.C. in a little bit. Salute to Andrew Gillum, Angela Rye, and Tiffany. We're going to be hanging out with
Cross, yep.
Tiffany Cross. We're going to be hanging out with them tonight in D.C., talking about everything that's going on. I'm excited about this because I used to, as a kid, I would always watch CNN or Channel 2, Channel 5, whatever your local news station is. And a lot of times, it would be confusing or it would be boring.
Yeah.
So I think we can talk to the people the way that we talk and hopefully enlighten them in a better way that they did back then.
Well, let's be clear. Angela Rye, Tiffany, and Andrew, they talk like that, but they know how to communicate.
Correct.
Yeah, they got it. They got the balance.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for doing that later. We're going to be heading to D.C. All right, but let's get the show cracking. We got front page news. Morgan will be joining us, so we'll talk to her next. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Now, Monday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-24. They are undefeated, still 8-0 this season. Did you watch any of the game, Charlamagne?
No. The Chiefs are good, though. The Chiefs are a solid team.
Chiefs, they look amazing. A little better than solid. But, morning, Morgan.
Solid. They're gonna lose to the Ravens when they play the Ravens again.
Hey, not too much on my team, okay? Calm down. Good morning.
I'm giving y'all props. I said, hold on. Now you got the Chiefs in your team too now?
No. I thought you was saying, okay, never mind. All right, cool. Go off, King. All right. Good morning, y'all. Big day today, Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. And of course, on top of the front page news is that making sure you exercise your right to vote. Shout out to all the first-time voters. You got a big job today. So, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump were blitzing key battleground states as the 2024 campaign wrapped up yesterday. VP Harris held a campaign event in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where she made her last push to voters and warned that Trump is divisive. Let's hear more from VP Harris in Scranton.
Let's be intentional about building community. about building community, about building coalitions, about reminding people we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And over these last, this whole era of this other guy, what it's done with all that talk that's been about trying to have us point fingers at each other and divide each other, it makes people feel alone.
Hey,
yes.
Now that's something I agree with. Be intentional about building community. That is important. How many people wake up every day and they say to themselves they're going to be intentional about building community, meaning, connect with people that are on the same things you on, but also connect with people who not, because that's what makes it a productive society, if you ask me.
Yeah, I always say that. I always say, conversation is always better than arguing. Like, it's okay to have a conversation. If somebody doesn't necessarily agree with what you agree with or have the same, whatever it may be, it's okay to have a conversation.
You learn sometime in disagreement, too. You learn a lot in disagreement sometimes, too.
Very true. Okay, so the vice president, she spent her entire day yesterday in Pennsylvania with 5 rallies. That was her last campaign stop in Philadelphia, where she held an event at the outside of the city's Museum of Art that featured Lady Gaga, The Roots, Ricky Martin, also Oprah Winfrey, Jazzy Jeff, and Fat Joe also attended rallies for Harris yesterday in Pennsylvania. Now, also in Pennsylvania, those 19 electoral votes is a key prize among the 7 all-important swing states. Now, Trump, he held 4 rallies across 3 states yesterday, 1 in North Carolina, 1 in Michigan, and 2 in Pennsylvania. So y'all see Pennsylvania. Shout out PA. So he went after VP Harris and made his last push to voters. Let's hear from former President Trump in Pennsylvania.
She's violated her oath of office. She's eradicated our sovereign border and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails. Just show up and bring your vote. And if you have somebody else that got a little lazy, bring that person too.
Bring all the voters, okay? So sticking around in PA, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be exact, District Attorney Larry Krasner, he activated the city's election task force. It means the city will handle any possible situation where someone tries to interfere with the election in Philadelphia. Speaking at a press conference yesterday, Krasner said anyone who decides to play those games will be subject to an arrest, but he said it in a very special way. Let's hear from Philly DA Larry Krasner.
Everybody in this city is working and has been working for months to make sure that there will be nothing tough about that experience and nothing to fear in that experience. But I also want to be clear, anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out. Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out. We do have the cuffs, we do have the jail cells, we do have the Philly juries, and we have the state prisons.
Period, Pooh. F around and find out if if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know who's writing the script for this season of This Is America, but I guarantee it's a diversity hire. That was fantastic. And I wish Merrick Garland had that kind of energy when it came to locking Trump up a few years ago.
So, of course, officials say anyone that may encounter any type of physical threat or violence when they go to vote at any poll anywhere across the country, be sure to reach out to your local law enforcement. Of course, that number is 911. So, yep.
It's gonna be pockets of that. It's gonna be little pockets of that all around the country. So. I mean, you seeing it now. You're hearing these stories about people assaulting people at the polls for, paraphernalia they're wearing, or people trying to intimidate folks at the polls. I gave the little boy, donkey of the day last week in Florida, the 18-year-old who, I think he wielded an axe or something, or a bat at some older lady. So you're going to see that. You saw the lady in Orangeburg who got into it with the guy who had on the Let's Go Brandon hat. It's going to be little pockets of that all around the country.
Yeah. But I would also tell people, you also remember that a lot of those people are volunteers and they're just trying to follow the rules and regulations in some cases. So just make sure you know your rules and regulations when you go into your polls.
Absolutely.
And I would tell some of those people that you can get shot, because a lot of those folks, are in states, where you can carry.
Facts.
Yes.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
So you better be careful.
All right.
F around and find out for real. All right, y'all. We'll get caught up with the VP hopefuls on the other side, and also New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She's got some comments in regards to the election. We'll talk about that more at 7 a.m.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, call us up right now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Ray.
Hey!
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live. Hello, who's this?
It's Andrew.
You said Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Andrew.
Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Peace, Andrew.
Good.
Morning.
Lauren.
Good morning.
Yeah, so I wanted to just talk real quick about how important it is to go out and vote for VP Harris. This is not the time to sit out. This election is too important. And how everybody's saying Donald Trump is too dangerous for everybody's democracy. And I don't know if some people even remember, but the abolishment of slavery wasn't until 1860 something. So if Trump even went back to 17, whatever he's talking about, he could take the portion of where we were not slaves anymore away. So I don't know if people even thinking about that either.
Oh, you talking about the conversations he was having about reviving the Alien Enemies Act from the 1700s?
Well, not even just that. I mean, were black people a part of the Aliens Act? I think that was separate.
I don't know. That's what I thought you was talking about. You know, the Aliens Enemies Act of 1790, which allows the U.S. president to detain, relocate, or deport non-citizens from a country considered an enemy of the U.S. during wartime. And he's been suggesting that he would implement that for some reason. And he was suggesting he'd pursue the death penalty for undocumented immigrants if they're convicted of killing Americans.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for checking in.
Okay, man.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, how you doing? This is Brandon Black.
What's up? Get it off your chest.
What's up, Brandon Black?
Hey, how you doing, Charlamagne the guy? I was calling to raise awareness about depression because this weekend, me and my wife went through a loss. My wife lost her uncle, and my brother lost his dad. So I know a lot of people are going to be going through things, and you just got to just continue to think positive, and not dwell on the negative. And I know another thing that's going to have people going through depression is this election.
Yep.
So I also did a little song telling people to, just get out there and vote. And no matter what happens, God got the last say so,
God is the best author and finisher, and I would tell you to perform the song, but people are depressed enough. And you are absolutely right that today is election day, and the election has been causing a lot of anxiety in a lot of people, but also it's the holidays, so it's a lot of seasonal depression going around. So everybody does need to go out there and take care of yourself. If you got a therapist, keep them on speed dial.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all get out there and vote.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right, man. Enjoy your life.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Everything with me is blessed.
Call up now. 800-585-1051.
Not just me. I'm what the culture feeling.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. This is Taisha. Good morning, MV. Good morning.
What's up, Taisha? Get it off your chest.
All right, so what I want to get off my chest is basically a conversation I hear y'all having all the time about Drake still being mad and showing how mad he is. And also, it's what I said about Diddy's sons and Ray J. So, Envy, you always saying, the reason that they're mad is because they have personal relationships. And Charlotte never understands that. And I'm definitely just doubling up on what you said. So I feel like with Drake and Kendrick, Drake is more mad with Future and The Weeknd because he had personal relationships with them. So imagine someone you thought was your friend, you found out they didn't like you on a track. I don't think he's more so mad about Kendrick, even though clearly that hurt his feelings. He's mad about the people who he thought he had relationships with who he found out didn't like him on the track.
Oh no, man! I have to I have to strongly disagree with that. I mean, Drake has already even said on a record that the future situation makes him sick to his stomach, meaning that he don't want that beef. Like I think that was on he said that on the Family Matters record.
Yeah, he said on one of those records. He said the
future
beef is the one that had his stomach hurting.
Yeah, and clearly Kendrick has him bothered because anything revolving around the Kendrick situation is what he seems to be bothered about the most. That DeMar DeRozan thing the other night, that was because DeMar DeRozan's from Compton and Kendrick mentioned him in the song and Kendrick mentioned him in the video.
All right, question. Did Kendrick and DeMar ever have a relationship really before this? Like, that's going to hurt your feelings.
But that's the whole point. We don't know. Like,
yes,
we don't know the relationship. We don't know how cool they are. They all from the same
What
hood.
are you talking about? We interviewed DeMar DeRozan. Like DeMar said, him and Kendrick, they homies from Compton.
Right, they cool, but I don't know how close they are. Like we don't know if they go to say for Thanksgiving.
He literally said
he said he was cool with both of them though. He just said
no. Well, you got selective hearing. That's your problem. He said that when it came down to Drake and Kendrick,
he was cool with Kendrick. He said he got love for both of them, but he had a relationship with Drake.
We played the clip yesterday.
So when y'all speak again, clarify it. Because
we played the clip yesterday.
This election day, guys. Can we talk about election day?
Yes.
Like
Lauren, did we not play the clip yesterday?
Vote Kamala.
We did play the clip yesterday, and he said that he was cool with both of them. However, Kendrick was his. Oh, we got the clip.
We played the clip. Now, he played in Toronto for years, but then Kendrick's from Compton. Mm-hmm. Drake is from Toronto. That's your guy. How do you choose what you're gonna get into and what you're not gonna get into at that point?
Love them both, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm from Compton, like my city, where I'm from, where I'm born, like where my family still live. It's like that comes first before anything.
Them both.
Any real person will understand that, and that's just what it is.
Have you? And that's
why y'all don't learn nothing.
We don't know their relationship.
That's not what did y'all hear what he said?
He just said, I love them both. That's what he just said. He said, but I'm
starting to realize why y'all get in the situations y'all get into. You don't listen.
I'm going to vote.
Okay, all right. Forget about that. Let's go about the election. I did early vote, and I'm from the Bronx, real ghetto. Crazy people. Stop, don't do that. I moved to North Carolina, clearly a Trump little town. So I early voted on Saturday. So I'm standing behind this white lady. A white man comes out. He asks her, who you voting for? She said, it's confidential. He said, don't make me change my doctor. That made my anxiety act up so bad.
Really?
That's how racist they are in this little town.
Don't make me change my doctor.
Everywhere.
Can I ask you a hypothetical question? And I know this would never happen, but if you went to the voting booth and somebody said, who you voting for, Trump or Kamala, and you say, hey, I love them both, but at the end of the day, I'm a woman, so I'm voting for Kamala. Who people think who you riding with?
Goodbye, Taisha. You have a good morning.
Duh. That's exactly what DeMar DeRozan just said.
She said that so softly. She said Kamala.
And by the way, Lauren, do you see how they both tried to cut it off? They did a real Trump move just now. They both tried to cut it off right after they heard what they wanted to hear. Even though DeMar DeRozan
let the whole thing play. What are you talking? The whole clip played?
No, you didn't. You cut it off. The man said, I love them both, but at the end of the day, I'm from Compton. I'm riding with Kendrick.
He said, I'm from Compton. He didn't say I was, you know what, forget it.
You cut it off.
I don't control it. Now I control the sound effects. Now I control the clips.
Shut up.
I'm riding with both of y'all, but at the end of the day.
Yeah. Who you voting for?
Kamala.
I thought you said Trump. So you said Trump behind the scenes.
No, don't.
I'm just messing with you. See how things get tied up? Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up now. We got Jess With The Mess coming up. What are we talking about?
We do. We're going to talk some voting things. There's a lot trending this morning. I thought it was really interesting. And we're going to get into some of the celebrities who've been posting about voting. And Rihanna, she went viral yesterday for her voting commentary.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get to Jess With The Mess.
News is real. Whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies. She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mack.
On The Breakfast Club.
She's a coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back.
And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
Alrighty, y'all. So it is election day, and anytime when I come in the morning and I'm preparing to get Jess With The Mess together, one of the things that I look at is like, what are you guys out there talking about, caring about, and why? So this morning, I came in and one of my producers, shout out to Symantha, was like, yo, what I noticed on the Google Trends and what she's talking about is what are people searching in the U.S. the most across Google. She's like, it's all voting stuff. And I know that there's like so many conversations right now about, are people getting out the vote? Do people care? Are people getting off the couch? And I will say, based off these trends, I think we are defeating the couch. So one of the top trends right now is, what time does voting open? And you can Google that to find it out in your area. And there's over 500,000 people right now actively searching that, and it's going up as we speak. People are searching.
Lauren,
yes.
You telling me people are Googling voting like they do Target? What
Yes.
time does voting open?
Yes.
You mean the polls?
Yes, the polls. Yes. Now listen, you also have, next up is Trump versus Harris polls, like not the actual voting polls, but the polls. I think people want to see the numbers. People are Googling voting near me. Where can I vote? Am I registered to vote? What do I need to bring to vote? Polling place hours, voting registration status, what time and then I thought this was interesting. What's time that? Do the polls open in PA is one of the rising ones right now. It's on the lower end with 10,000 people, 10,000 plus people searching this actively right now, but it's going up. And I do believe, there was a big move yesterday in Pennsylvania with everyone that was there with Kamala to support her, and Oprah and Fat Joe. So yeah, these are some of the trends that's happening right now. So if you are looking for that information, join your fellow, online users and Google it and search it. Now, speaking of
Pennsylvania polls open up at 7 a.m., by the way.
Thank you for that, Charla.
To 8 p.m.
Look at you and your Google. I know that's right. So speaking of Pennsylvania, I know we talked about this in front page news, but I actually wanted to hear, from Oprah and from Fat Joe, who were there with Kamala Harris. Let's take a listen to Oprah.
Yesterday, I was all the way across the country, and I was hiking on a Sunday afternoon, and I met a woman named Angela, who told me that she was going to sit this one out. Now, I know she was immediately sorry she told me that, because I would not let up. So I said, sit this one out. We don't get to sit this one out. If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know why people playing with it. That's what authoritarian rule does. I don't know why we playing with it.
Yeah, and that's literally been said to us as well, too. Now, we also, heard Fat Joe speaking yesterday, or if you didn't hear, we're going to play it for you right now. But he touched on a lot of things. So let's take a listen to Fat Joe speaking on pride and how your pride needs to come into this voting.
This message is going to be short but sweet, and it's about pride. To my Latinos, not just to Puerto Ricans, to my Mexican brothers and sisters. The day I seen Donald Trump come down that escalator and call them Mexicans drug dealers and rapists, he obviously didn't know the Mexican Americans that I know. If that wasn't enough, we had Hurricane Maria, where people were walking in water up to waist deep. Families were fighting. I went to Puerto Rico. They had no water. They had no supplies. The man went over there and threw tissue at the people of Puerto Rico. Where's your pride if you're still out there talking about you might be voting for somebody or you're not decided? Where's your pride as a Latino?
Now,
how did that make you feel as a Dominican? Did Fat Joe's speech move you?
Fat Joe's speech did move me, but I'm not Latino. I'm actually black. Dominican. But his speech did move me. I mean, he's speaking from a place of somebody who's fighting the fight and been fighting the fight for a long time. He went there, and I remember him getting Floyd Mayweather, Rock Nation, and everybody else that could fill up jets, because there was no planes going there to just fill up those jets with supplies and help his people out. So yeah, it definitely moved me. But I am African American. I'm black, sir.
Yo, he won't let you live on election day. Go ahead, Charlie.
I will say I like Fat Joe's speech too, but Fat Joe definitely knows some Mexican drug dealers. Not all, not all Mexicans are drug dealers.
Yo,
he knows
up.
a couple.
Shut up.
Knew a couple.
When he said that, I was like, oh,
he knew a couple. He knew a couple.
But listen,
okay. Back in the day, a long time
Not
ago.
anymore.
Well,
but go ahead.
Also, too, so N.O.R.E mentioned, or Noriega mentioned that, or is it going to be?
We didn't play it.
Oh, we didn't play it. Okay. Well, Fat Joe also talked about the fact that when everything happened at Madison Square Garden with Donald Trump, it wasn't funny. He said, I like to joke around, tell stories, but that was not funny whatsoever. And more importantly, he says, people know Fat Joe for being real. Like, he's authentic. You can trust him. You can believe him.
Yes.
And here's where he's throwing all of his support. Let's take a listen.
I don't know why, but if I'm speaking to some undecided Puerto Ricans, especially in Pennsylvania, what more they got to do to show you who they are? I'm telling you. And the thing about Fat Joe, if you don't know him, he's authentic. He will not sell his soul for nobody in the world. If I tell you Kamala Harris is with us, she's with us.
Kamala.
You know what's going to hurt me in the future?
What's that?
When Fat Joe runs for mayor in New York and I'm not able to vote for him because I'm not a New York resident. But boy, I'm going to tell you one thing. Fat Joe going to run for mayor in New York one day. And he going to win. I'm telling y'all that right now.
Absolutely.
If he chooses.
And he'll run this state amazing. I think he would.
Well, it's the mayor
city,
of New York
City. Yeah, but New York City. He would run the city amazing.
Well, speaking of being resident, citizenship, all that stuff, Rihanna popped out yesterday on the gram, and she posted a video of her in a car looking out the window, just like, gazing through the window. And it says, point of view, me trying to sneak into the polls with my son's passport, #vote because I can. Now, her caption was where, she won. She said, when protecting coochie and firing coochie can happen all in one vote. She used the P word, but I had to sub it.
I got you.
Yes, and then she hashtag again, vote because I can, #vote tan suit season, talking about, Kamala and her suits. Now, let me tell y'all know bad girl Riri she goes off online, or notoriously she used to snap back all the time online. Oh, baby, when I say she got back in these comments. So somebody said illegal voting is a crime. Maybe she should be arrested for trying. She commented back to this person and said, shut up, Karen. Someone else said, the attitude is why we want to make America great again. You want to cheat to win. So disappointing. Bad girl Riri said, when y'all stop burning ballot boxes, come check me. Someone else said, did you get in? Shout out to the Batty Twins. The Batty Twins said, did you get in? She said, not yet, sis, but I'm sleeping outside to make sure the Navy shows up. Then someone else said, ironically, she can vote if she would have set up her paper for voting as a migrant if she doesn't have a U.S. citizenship. I guess someone has been rejected by the system or acts like it for the majority. She said, I love my passport. I came here to work and pay taxes. You're welcome. Now, there was another one where she replied to somebody else that was just trying to go in about the whole border stuff and shutting the border and like all that. And she said, where were you January 6th, sis? Stick to your discounted crotch. We out here fighting for its rights. So she's
discounted crotch.
Yeah, she's saying that that we out here fighting for the coochies. Like she want to make sure that women have their rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked Rihanna doesn't have dual citizenship though. All the money she pays in taxes in.
Yeah. But somebody said that too. They was like, well, how are you? They asked her some question. She was like, taxes, duh. Like basically, like because she has some rights because she.
All right. And that is Jess With The Mess with Lauren LaRosa. All right, now, when we come back, we got front page news. Then we're going to open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. We're asking, are you still undecided? Today is election day. Are you still undecided? What makes you undecided? We're going to open up the phone lines and we'd love to talk to you. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs, beat the Buccaneers 30-24. All right. Chiefs look damn good. Morning.
Yeah, but I think it's a fix. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that the NFL is rigging all the Chiefs games just because Taylor Swift is there. I really feel that way.
Oh boy. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Envy, Charlamagne, and Lauren. Y'all all right?
Yes.
All right, so today is a big day, y'all. Election day, Tuesday, November 5th. We're finally here. We made it to the promised land. Now let's keep our promise, okay? And get out there and vote. Make sure you exercise your right. Shout out to all the first-time voters. Y'all got a big job today. So Democratic Vice Presidential hopeful Tim Walz, he held a campaign event in Wisconsin yesterday where he made his final push to voters for the Harris campaign and talked about how VP Harris will stand up for the American people. Let's hear more from Tim Walz in Wisconsin.
The thing is upon us now, folks. I know there's a lot of anxiety, but the decisions that are made over the next 24, 36 hours when those polls close will shape not just the next 4 years, they will shape the coming generations. She stood up for women and children against predators and abusers. She stood up with seniors and workers against fraudsters and big corporate interests. She stood up for families and communities against international gangs and drug traffickers. And she never once hesitated to reach across the aisle.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that? Walls has to say
my thoughts, I think, Tim Walz has not been holding up his end of the bargain. Okay, he started off strong, but there's been a lot of people who have finished stronger than him as far as surrogates are concerned. Josh Shapiro, Bill Clinton, Mark Cuban. There's a lot of people I've seen go out there and sell the case for the vice president that have been stronger than the VP, Tim Walz.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of him in the last couple of weeks, honestly.
But he's on the ticket, so I'm voting Kamala Harris regardless.
So you're going to stick beside him. Speaking of reaching across the aisles.
Her. Oh, he's going to stick beside her, but I'm sticking with her.
He going to stick beside her. You going to stick beside her. Everybody going to stick beside. All right, so speaking of reaching across the aisles, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, he also held a rally in Wisconsin yesterday morning where he made his final push to voters for the Trump campaign. Now, Vance, he slammed VP Harris on immigration and praised the number of Republicans who voted early in this election. Let's hear more from Vance in Wisconsin.
She's rolling out the red carpet for illegal immigration. She's inviting people to come into this country. She's given them health care, Social Security, and housing benefits paid for by all of you. If you look at the early vote numbers, the absentee vote numbers, Republicans, we're doing as well as we ever have in the history of American elections.
Now, traditionally, Democrats actually vote early, and you tend to see Republicans at the polls day of. It seems to be quite the, it appears to be the reverse, but of course we won't know those numbers until after today.
Well, that's because this election cycle, Trump is telling them to vote early. Last election cycle, Trump was telling them not to vote early, and he was telling them not to do mail-in voting, if I'm not mistaken. Remember, I don't know if we remember this, but 2020, he was telling them, don't vote early, don't vote early, don't vote early. This time, he's telling them to go vote early.
Yes, and actually encouraging mail-in voting as well, too, which was kind of ironic because he
didn't last time. Last time he said the opposite.
All right, so meanwhile, bringing things home to New York, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says agencies across the state are preparing for anything in the aftermath of Election Day. With several polls showing former President Trump and Vice President Harris in a tight race, the governor cautions there may not be a clear winner for a while, and that's why she's ordered several state agencies to coordinate with local law enforcement to ensure election-related demonstrations remain peaceful, while also protecting New Yorkers' right to free speech. Let's hear more from New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
Tallying all the votes and declaring all the official winners can take time. That's totally normal, especially in tight races. I've directed the New York State Police and the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services to assist local law enforcement agencies statewide to ensure that any large gatherings or protests remain peaceful and safe. They're trained for this. They've been tabletopping this. They're prepared for this over months and months, and if not years, preparing for these days. As always, my top priority is keeping New Yorkers safe.
Yes, so she also went on to say that she wants to ensure Election Day runs smooth as possible by ordering agencies quickly to respond to anything that may go awry with like downed power lines, internet issues, or weather-related road closures. Speaking of weather, today is expected to be like mostly favorable for, with some exceptions across the country. So voters in western Montana may have to deal with some blizzard conditions, and snow is expected in some parts of Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. But most of the rainfall is expected to impact central U.S. with some showers and thunderstorms possible from the Chicago area down to Houston. Temperatures in Arizona and Nevada will be in the 60s and 70s. Also the same on the East Coast here between Pennsylvania and D.C. and Virginia, North Carolina. Also, Michigan and Pennsylvania will also see higher than, or it says above average normal temperatures. So
that's how you know it ain't no weather machine. Because if it was really a weather machine, wouldn't you use it today? Wouldn't you use it in certain states, especially the battleground states, in certain areas to keep certain people from probably getting to the polls? That's how you know it ain't no real weather machine.
That's election interference. No, but seriously, the weather should be nice today, so go ahead and get out there and vote. And I will see y'all.
And Mo, I want to point out one quick double standard. You played the J.D. Vance clip, and you know people will always they'll say things like, oh, all the Vice President Kamala Harris does is speak about Trump. All she does is speak about Trump. And that's all Kamala's campaign does is speak about Trump. But that's what politicians do. That's what J.D. Vance just was on a whole rant about Kamala as well. Like, that's what they do.
Right. It's true.
All
All right, well, I'll see y'all tonight at Howard University. I'll be out there as well, with Black Information Network. And, of course, anyone, again, if you encounter any physical threats or violence when you go out to vote, call the Popo Ho. Call him. Call
the Popo Ho. God
call
damn,
the Popo.
Morgan. I hear you, Morgan. Morgan
Yes,
call the Popo
we
Ho.
not on that. We not rocking. You know what I'm saying? We got rights and we gonna exercise them things today. Okay.
The DMV just came out of her.
Yeah, call Popo Ho.
Real quick. Period. Pooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's your front page news. I'm
Thank
Morgan
you,
Wood.
Morgan.
Follow me on social at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow us at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com. Happy Election Day, y'all.
All right. Everybody else, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Today is Election Day. Are you guys still undecided? We would love to hear from you. Today is Election Day. You got to vote today. Yeah, you're heading to the polls. Are you still undecided, and why?
By the way, if you still undecided, you just want attention at this point. You just saying things for attention.
That's how I feel
Knock it
about
off.
people who drink espresso martinis. They just want attention. I don't know how that related, but that was my first thought.
I feel you for some reason. For some
Espresso
reason,
martinis, y'all just want
can see that.
attention. You still undecided, you just want attention.
All right, let's discuss. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning. Now, if you're just joining us, we have N.O.R.E on the line. And N.O.R.E, this morning we're talking to people that are voting for Trump, and we want to know why.
Oh, you talking to the wrong person.
N.O., what's up, N.O.?
Yeah, I'm black, yo. Yeah, I'm black. I don't know if you got me confused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm black.
What's up,
I like
N.O.R.E?
my money, though. I like my money, but I like my people more.
N.O.R.E, if you like your money, do you know since World War II, the economy has done better under Democratic presidents? I don't know where the narrative came from that Republicans put more money in your pocket, but it's just not true. And I didn't realize this till a few months ago.
Yep, all right, then. I believe you then.
So Anna, what do you go out there and tell people today? Because we're reaching out. Some of the celebrities are calling up, making sure people go out there and vote. What do you say to the people today that are undecided, that still don't know which way they want to go, N.O.R.E?
I just say go with your people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me, when I look at Kamala, I hope I pronounced her name right.
You did.
She reminds me, she reminds me of a person in my family, you know what I mean? So although a person in my family might not be perfect, but I still gonna go with a person in my family, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. My politics is very simple. You're not gonna get an ill explanation out of me. You're gonna get a straight simple. And what I heard my brother Fat Joe say yesterday, I almost a tear came to my eye because, Fat Joe makes a lot of money, and I know his pockets is leaning towards being a Republican, like, Charlamagne just said or whatever. But, the fact
That's
that
not what
this man disrespected, I know, you alluded to, you know what I'm saying? But,
No,
but what I'm saying is, how Fat Joe delivered that speech, and he stood with the black people, with the Jewish people, with the Latino people, and that just made all the sense to me to the world. So that's where I'm at with it, you know what I mean? And I definitely vote whatever Fat Joe votes.
Okay. I was going to say also, congratulations. We see that you're doing a Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg interview. That's going to be pretty big.
Ooh, at Complex Con.
That's going to... Yeah, big up the Complex Con, big up to Dr. Dre and Snoop, because we've had this deal. We couldn't announce it. But adding on to that is November 16th in Las Vegas at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting with No Sleep in the Running Club, gin and juice, Monster Energy drink, and big up Mark Wahlberg from This New Clothing. And we're doing a 3-mile run in Las Vegas, so people to come and get healthy with us. People come and drink with me all the time, but I want people to come and do a 3-mile run with us. We reached out to the city of Las Vegas so we could get permits, but even if we don't get permits, we're going to do it just as, just as people. And the people who run with us, they win a chance to go see Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg live being interviewed by Drink Champs. So, I wanted to, announce that person at Breakfast Club.
Envy, you said you wanted to run yesterday. You going to go do that one?
I could do the 3-mile run. The 26-mile I got to work myself up to. And N.O.R.E, also, lastly, congratulations on your new hair. I see you got that new...
Yo, listen, Envy ain't answered my text since I grew my hair out, man. Envy been hating. Envy been hating, man.
Tell him, N.O.R.E, that's your real hair. Tell him stop playing with you.
That's my real hair. That's my Puerto Rican. My Puerto Rican's growing out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My wife asked me to grow it out, and I said, you know what? My wife gets what my wife wants. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It. Yeah.
Listen, make sure y'all listen to the Drink Champs podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. And N.O.R.E, just to be clear on what I said, The economy grows more under Democratic presidents. Yeah, the economy does better under Democrats. That's a fact. More job creation. And the unemployment rate decreases under Democratic presidents. And when you talk about recessions, there's been 11 U.S. recessions between 1953 and 2020. 10 began under Republican presidents.
But I wasn't alluding to that when I said that. I was alluding to when you say, I don't know where that rumor started. And that's what the majority of people think. The majority of the people think that under Republican regime, they make more money because of the last time Trump was in office. A lot of people were making money, but that's what I was alluding to. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
all right.
But my vote is for the black people. Goddammit. Louis Papa Cheese. Hey, go see us November 16th. Dr. Dre, Snoop on Drink Chats, and come run with us in the morning before that. Thank you, Breakfast Club. I miss coming up there. I'm gonna come up there and get a haircut.
Piece by Piece in theaters right now.
Oh, I'm a Lego.
Yes, how you miss that?
That's right.
I hope you guys. You know I got a criminal record, and now I'm a Lego. Come on, bro. This is. You couldn't write a better story. You know what I mean? And I love it. I love the fact that Pharrell made me involved. I love the fact that Pharrell didn't even tell me what I was doing. The whole time I did not know what I was doing, and I thought about it. If he would have told me I was a Lego, I would have tried to act like a Lego. So it was best that he didn't tell me I was being a Lego.
N.O.R.E, how does a Lego act? Because they just be sitting there. So tell us how a Lego act.
Let me tell you something. I would have figured it out. I would have watched all the Lego movies and tried to imitate them. But I'm glad that the movie is rated for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I brought my family. I rented out a movie theater. I came to the premiere. Nas called me about it. That was one of my greatest moments in life, man. Thank you, Pharrell, and thank you me for being a part of his story.
All right.
That's right. Salute N.O.
Yeah. Later, N.O. All right, we're opening up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. We're asking, you're going out, today's election day, you're voting. Now we're asking, are you still undecided? Call us up, let's discuss this. The Breakfast Club, good morning.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're asking, are you still undecided? Today is election day. Hopefully, people are going out there and voting, but it's election day, and a lot of people are still undecided, and we got a lot of people on the line.
Man, you just want attention if you're still undecided at this point. Like, how could you to be undecided the day of the election? Like, you're just going to go in the booth and flip a coin?
And we got Jason on the line. Jason, good morning.
Good morning. Peace, blessings, and balanced love to the whole family.
Peace, King. How you doing, brother? Now Don't tell me you still undecided, Black man.
Hey, I am. And the reason is, it's not because I want attention. I'm an AV. We get attention. It's more so because the 2 times I voted in my 45 years of life, the persons that I voted for won popular vote, didn't win the election. Those 2 people being Gore and Hillary Clinton.
I understand, but you voted for President Obama, I'm sure, right?
Of course not.
Oh, you didn't vote for Obama?
No.
Oh, well, he won, and he won the popular vote.
It's similar with Kamala. I saw. I wasn't hearing anything about policies like.
You're not listening, then, my brother. Listen. Here's the thing. I love you as a black man.
I listened very hard, brother. I listened very hard. I'm from the city where Martin Luther King gave his "I Have a Dream" speech for the first time.
That don't mean you listen.
North Carolina, which Trump visited last week. I was born in the Bronx, which Trump also visited. Trump is talking about removing fluoride from our drinking water. That is a very important thing. Like and if I could, I just want to speak on one other thing. While I'm able to get things off my chest. For those of y'all who claim that we shouldn't want reparations anymore because we can get whatever we need, it's like if you loan somebody $300, I know y'all got it, but anyway, if you loan somebody $300 and they took, say, 6 years to pay you that $300 back, but they paid you back with interest, they gave you $900 back instead, right? Are you gonna tell them nah, or are you gonna take that $900?
Well, listen, can I say something to you, brother? Trump isn't speaking about reparations at all. And the vice president let me finish. The vice president is at least engaging in those conversations and has been for some years since she ran the first time in 2020. So, I mean, if that's one of your issues, then you're being disingenuous if you telling me that you leaning towards Trump on that.
Well, that's what it seems like. But I mean, he has to do his homework, and Kamala Harris's policies have been all over her website, so she could definitely check out. And that's all she's been discussing is her policies. Just listening from the outside, when you ask Kamala about her policy, she has a plan. When you talk to Trump about his policies, he doesn't have a plan. I'll let you know.
Concept of a plan.
Let me think about it. I got a concept.
He literally said, I have a concept of a plan. And it's like, come on, man. I get like that conversation on an election day morning. You still ain't heard no policy. You ain't listening, my brother.
That's crazy.
Respectfully.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Now, you're still undecided on election day?
Yep, I'm still undecided. I just think that it's just a big circus, really. Because, I feel like a president comes in year after year. We're still in the same cycle with the same problems. Nothing ever gets fixed. I just think you just have to handle your own things yourself.
Wait,
what do you mean?
How do you handle it yourself?
Meaning, like, I think it's just best if you focus on yourself, pick a skill, learn that skill really well, make money, build your own resources, net worth. And if you need to maybe get out where you need to get out. But maybe let's not rely on these people, is what I'm trying to say.
But what about voting?
Yeah, because I think you cannot rely on people. But even if you plan to go get a trade, get a skill, go out in the workforce, live your day-to-day life, there's still rules and regulations and regimes that you have to do that under. And the politicians matter because of that. Like they're putting all that into place, local, federal, all that.
True. I don't know. I guess I don't like how it's gotten so, like, you can't even have a discussion about either side without someone blowing up.
I can understand that.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you drink espresso martinis?
Nope. Only wine.
Nah, but I agree with you. And this is what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks. I mean, we should be able to have conversations, whether you agree on one side or agree on another side, without people blowing up, without getting violent, without people be calling each other names. We should be able to have those conversations. Hopefully, you're still going out there and voting today, though, man.
To act like elections don't have consequences is ridiculous. When we've seen Roe v. Wade be overturned, and now because of that, 41 states have some type of abortion bans in effect. Okay, 13 states have a total abortion ban. 28 states have abortion bans based on gestational duration. So you talk about doing things yourself. I can name one thing you probably don't want to do yourself, but there's probably some people who have to because they're in a state that have a total abortion ban, ma'am. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, Teresa, get out there and vote today.
I will.
Have a good one. She seems so depressed. I will.
I mean, I'm telling you at this point, and I mean this respectfully to everybody, if you're saying things like, you don't believe this person has policy, or whatever, you're not paying attention. You're being willfully ignorant at this point. Willfully ignorant. And please don't call up here and say things like, elections don't have consequences. That's just not true. We're living it right now.
800-585-1051. We want to talk to the undecided voters. It's election day. Have you not decided as of yet? Let's talk. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If y'all talking about it, we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. If you're just joining us, we're just opening up the phone lines. Want to talk to the undecided voter and see why they're not voting or why they haven't figured out who they are voting for. We have Kelly. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you're an undecided voter still?
Yes. Well, okay. So I know who I'm voting for in the presidential election, but I live in Jersey.
Okay.
And I don't know who we're voting for in New Jersey. Isn't this Murphy's last year?
Yes, it is.
Murphy not on the ballot this year.
Murphy's not on the ballot.
Right
that's what she means. Is Murphy's not running again?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So who are we voting for? Because everybody has been covering the presidential election, and it's like, who? I don't even know who we voting for in Jersey.
No, there's Senate races in New Jersey.
Yeah, she says she knows, but she doesn't know who she's voting for. She hasn't seen any footage or much information on them.
Oh, got you.
Like,
I'm voting Andy Kim for Senate. There's a Senate seat open in Jersey. I know that much.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably just going to do all blue. I don't know.
All right.
Listen, I mean,
and
you can't
also,
go wrong with
I
that.
just wanted to say, I think you guys really need to leave Lauren alone.
Thank you, sis.
Sis gonna get there. She gonna get there. Like I was where you were a couple years ago.
Oh, you mean just
now I'm married?
She's not talking about none of that.
You talking about her wig? As far as what, having a bad wig? As far as being single?
And I know you're not over here talking, Mr. I Need a 10.
It's a lot going on. What you mean when you say get there? You talking about bad wigs, being single? What you mean?
I mean with these men. Okay.
Got you. Okay.
Dang, when the hairlines fade, the love do too, Charlotte. You need to relax. Whoosh. Go ahead, sis. Go off, sis. Go off.
I just want you to be specific.
I was there. I'm married. I got a kid.
Hey.
You know, so you're going to get there. Don't worry about it. The right man will come along. Those other dudes, they're whack.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
My goodness.
You talking about you want consistency. We wanted that from your hairline, but we ain't get it. So
woo! Hello, who's this?
Consistently, yeah.
Hey, this Lance from Jacksonville.
Lance, what's up, brother? You still an undecided voter, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm undecided. I don't even know if I'm going to really vote for real.
Why, what's up?
It's all scripted. The reason why I think it's scripted is because I was a part of one of the biggest presidential blunders in U.S. history. So I was one of the young voters of 2002 that they was going after. I was 18. It was when Gore was supposed to be Bush after Clinton. Gore won the popular votes. Bush won the electoral. Gore won the electoral in Florida, turned the red state to a blue state. And then they lost the whole state of Florida votes like it was a set of car keys or remote control.
Well, hold on, my brother. You know that election was completely stolen. Like we're not even gonna sit here and play around with that one. The Supreme Court stopped the actual count of the votes, and the state that flipped was literally ran by George W. Bush's brother, Jeb Bush, at the time.
I'm agreeing with you. That's
okay.
my whole point of why I think it's scripted. Yeah, I'm from Florida, so I was here. Al Gore came to my school at Raines High School. He was on this whole Kiss the Black Baby, Kiss the Black Children run. So we had a pep rally for him. Like, I was invested. I voted for Gore. And like I said, like how you just said.
It was stolen. Wasn't scripted, it was stolen.
I mean, because I don't think they didn't expect Al Gore to win. That's why Al Gore won the popular vote. But I know the electoral vote is what wins the election. And when he won the electoral in Florida, like you said, they stopped.
They stopped the count in Florida.
They didn't think he was going to win.
By the way, that's what I'm scared of this time. I did a piece about this on the Daily Show a month ago. I really, they're gonna go out of their way to try to steal the election this year. That's why Trump keeps saying Democrats are gonna steal it, because he's projecting.
All right. Well,
true. They tried to steal it last time. That was what the attempted coup in this country was.
Sure did. Well, we got a moral of the story, bro.
I do, man, and I want the moral of the story to come from President Barack Obama, because President Barack Obama said something a couple of weeks ago, and everybody kind of didn't pay it any attention because of the comments he made about black men. But I want y'all to hear this part of what President Obama said in Pennsylvania. Play it, Red.
This is a big, complicated country, and the problems are hard, and they've been around a long time. And so sometimes the other excuse we feel is, we hear when we're talking to folks is, well, it ain't gonna make no difference. Well, no, you're right that we're not eliminating poverty. We're not going to get rid of all problems with race. We're not going to prevent every bad thing from happening in this country. Whoever we elect president, that's not how things work. The question is, do we have somebody there who sees us, who cares about us, who will work on our behalf and can make things a little bit better?
All right.
The reason why I love what President Obama said is because it's a level of empathy and understanding to what voters are feeling. And it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people feel like politicians not going to do anything for them. And what President Obama said is true. We're not going to eliminate poverty. We're not going to get rid of all problems with race. We're not going to prevent every bad thing from happening in this country. But whoever you elect as president, you have to elect somebody that sees you, who cares about you, who will work on your behalf and can make things a little bit better. That's what we're voting for. And that's real.
All right. Now, when we come back, we got Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa. What are we talking about?
We do. We are actually, still voting in election conversation. Michael Jordan, there was like this thing that went viral saying he was endorsing Trump. His team came out to shut all that down, so we're going to get into that.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. All right. Morning, everybody. It's election day.
Hey.
What?
No, he said.
I never heard that part.
White girl wasted off of brown liquor, right?
Oh, I thought you said
Charlamagne heard something
eye.
else. Charlamagne heard something else.
I'm not, bro. Like, could you stop for once?
I didn't hear nothing say no brown eye.
Let me look that lyrics up. I never heard that before. Let me look that up.
Why did that catch your attention?
I just want to know.
See? Well, good morning, everybody. It's Election Day. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
News is real. Whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies. She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's a culture shoot.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back.
And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So there was this viral post on Twitter that surfaced right after LeBron endorsed Kamala Harris. The tweet was supposed to be confirming that Michael Jordan was announcing that he was going to be endorsing Trump. But, and this went super viral, it had like over 1 million views. Now, and it was on Twitter, so it circulated. There were notes, they do the community notes on X where they'll tell you like, oh, this is not real, whatever. However, because there were some outlets and some people still picking it up, Michael Jordan's team has now given a statement a rep for Michael Jordan has given a statement to the Independent saying that they strenuously deny that the basketball icon has endorsed either candidate leading up to this week's election. There is absolutely no truth to the claim that Michael Jordan has made an endorsement in the presidential election. How do y'all feel about celebrities as big as like a Michael Jordan or whoever deciding to not endorse anybody whatsoever in this election?
It don't bother me, none.
Yeah, me personally, I'm fine with it. They can decide who they want to do or what they want to do with their vote or how they want to use their influence. I don't have a problem with it.
It's 148 million people, I think, who voted in the last election. I don't know who those people vote for till after the fact, and I don't even know who those people are who voted. I just know it's a number. So I could care less. Whether they endorse or not.
I actually think people stop needing to look at celebrities to see who they're voting for to decide who they're voting for. So I don't care.
Why you think that?
I don't think a celebrity could move somebody. I think people need to do their own homework. I think people need to do their own research.
Got you.
Now, I agree with you, Envy, that people should do their own research, and people should get their own information. But I do think celebrities move forward. I go back and forth. Like sometimes I feel like I ain't nobody voting because of no celebrity, but that'd be a lie. Celebrities do have influence. So some people are voting based off who their favorite celebrity is voting for.
Because I did see a lot of people that love Taylor Swift when she, said that she was endorsing Kamala Harris. I seen a lot of people say, well, I'm voting for this, but I'm still a Taylor Swift fan. So I don't know how much influence it really does have. I don't know.
I don't know either. I just asked that because there's always that back and forth about it, and I know that this election is like such a, it's very important. And I thought it was kind of timely and kind of planned it that the minute LeBron came out and endorsed Kamala very strong, he posted are y'all crazy, like what else would I be doing but voting for her? And then he posted a video of like a mashup of like Trump's lies. This tweet surfaced and I'm like, why would it be important to combat LeBron unless people think celebrities are influential in this?
I don't think MJ has ever said who he was voting for. Never.
But you know how powerful that would be, in my opinion, if he did right now for whoever, whatever side.
If they want to endorse, great. If they don't, it don't bother me either way.
Got you. Well, in other news, Jason Kelce, he had to issue a public apology via ESPN on Monday night. So he opened up Monday Night Countdown issuing an apology because he got into it with a student or a person. I don't know if this person was a student at Penn State, but a person who's a fan at Penn State when this fan ran up on him and called his brother a gay slur because of the fact that his brother is dating
Taylor Swift.
Thank you. Let's take a listen to the original audio of when the incident went down.
Kelce! Hey, Kelce! Kelce! I feel your brother's a Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Give me my phone, Kelce. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. You want to drive, Taylor? Get the out of here!
Now, in that video, I mean, we had to bleep it, of course, but the interaction is like he says to Jason Kelce, your brother is the F-bomb, the gay slur, because he's dating. How do you feel because he is that? Because he's dating Taylor Swift. And then Jason Kelce throws that same word back at him 3 times in that video. So on Monday night, he issued this apology. Let's take a listen.
Listen, I think everybody's seen on social media everything that took place this week. I'm not happy with anything that took place. I'm not proud of it. And, in a heated moment, I chose to greet hate with hate. And I just don't think that that's a productive thing. I don't think that it leads to discourse, and it's the right way to go about things. In that moment, I fell down to a level that I shouldn't have. So I think the bottom line is I try to treat people with common decency and respect, and I'm going to keep doing that moving forward, even though I fell short this week. Yeah, I think we got a game to focus on, a matchup. I don't think this is the platform to necessarily go into more detail. So get ready for this Chiefs game.
Now, we'll say, go ahead.
No, I say, what a world we live in when men are calling other men gay for dating women. Is this what happens? Is this what happens when you have 72 genders?
I don't know what is going on.
I'm gay now. I'm dating a woman. Like, what's up, man?
Well, we don't
what's
know what
going on
Taylor
in the
Swift
world?
identifies as. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know why.
She identifies as a cat
hell?
lady. Remember, she posted her photo. She's a cat lady.
But he's right. But like, the man is dating a woman.
I'm dating a woman, and you call me a gay slur?
Y'all talking about that?
Is this what happens when you have 72 genders? Are we here now? It's gay to date women now,
72
guys?
genders remind me of that song. The type of gun to make you chew. I love my bubble gum. I don't know why I thought about flavors of bubble gum. No, okay, whatever.
Maybe normal gay guys date women nowadays. Maybe that's what this is.
Don't confuse me.
What?
J.D. Vance said that him and Trump are going to get the normal gay guy vote. So maybe if you're a normal gay guy, you date women.
It's
nowadays.
too much.
That could be it.
Wait, the envy. That would be a bisexual man.
I don't know. That's one of the 72. 72 flavors of that bootylicious.
Yo, stop it.
See,
All
it
right.
made you think of that song too. Envy looked at me like I was crazy.
goodness.
The type of man to make you chew with love a bubble gum.
All right. Well, that was Jess With The Mess.
By the way,
I thought it was crazy that he was able to get on ESPN and apologize. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I was like, oh,
they would have canceled. They would have canceled anybody else. They like him.
I think Jason handled it appropriately. Now, in the heat of the moment, he was matching energies. But as far as snatching dude's phone and slamming it to the ground, I don't have a problem with that because it's going to cost him a couple dollars probably.
It's gonna cost him.
Yeah, there's an investigation too that they opened in PA, but that probably will close because they're going to see everything.
Stop treating public figures like they not human. Like that man is just walking, trying to get the way he's trying to get to, and you got a phone in his face calling his brother a gay slur. He ain't no Buddhist monk. He ain't no Zen master. Like he ain't no stoic. Like he supposed to not react. Like, get out that man's face. Why you playing with that man like that? You lucky he ain't slapped it out you.
But the sad thing is, people do that for the reaction, right? They do that for the reaction. They do that to get hit. They do that so they can sue. They do that for the quote unquote clicks. People think it's cool till they get their teeth knocked out.
And that's what needs that's honestly sometimes what needs to happen. Sometimes an example needs to be made out of somebody so crazy that the next person in someplace else is thinking, nah, don't do that. Because remember what happened when that dude ran up on Jason Kelsey? He got his teeth knocked down his throat. Like, they stop playing with people. Like, why do we think it's okay to play with people in that way?
All right. Well, that is Jess With The Mess. Now, when we come back, we usually do Donkey here.
Yes, but since it's election day, a couple of weeks ago, we had a We the People town hall with the Vice President Kamala Harris. I got to sit down with her and chop it up. And I think today is a good day to replay that conversation, just in case you're headed to the polls and you're undecided, whatever the hell that means.
All right. And we're going to get that on next, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club, along with Rosa filling in for Jess. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Charlamagne had a town hall meeting in Detroit with Kamala Harris. He got a chance to ask a bunch of questions, and people in the building did as well.
Yeah, salute to my guy Zeke from New Era. Salute to E.T. Salute to Ice Web Bezo. Salute to Pastor Kenlock. They was all in the building. Also, salute to everybody who participated through our talkback feature that we have on iHeartRadio. You can go to iHeartRadio podcast, go to the Breakfast Club page, click the microphone, and that's how you can send your questions. You can do that all the time, by the way. Right. But people really did it during the town hall. And yeah, man, we sat there and kicked it for an hour. And salute to, I don't even know how you say this, but this conversation has like well over 40 billion social impressions. I don't know what none of that means, but the digital people be happy about it.
The people tapped in.
All right, well, let's jump right back into it. Today is election day. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Peace to the planet. Charlamagne the God here with Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. How are you?
Because you did just walk in. You was kind of late, so.
Well, I try to be on time. Apparently, I'm 40 seconds late. You're right.
Well, you are black, so okay. Now, now one thing they've been saying, a lot of your press hits get criticized. Folks say you come off as very scripted. They say you like to stick to your talking points, and some media says you have.
That would be called discipline.
Ooh, okay. Speak to that.
But go on.
No, I was going to say, some people say you have an inability to fearlessly say who you are and what you believe. I know that's not true. But what do you say to people who say you stay on the talking points?
I would say you're welcome. Mm-hmm. The reality is that there are certain things that must be repeated to ensure that I have everyone know what I stand for and the issues that I think are at stake in this election. Mm-hmm. And so it requires repetition. You know, some people say that until someone has heard the same thing at least 3 times, it just doesn't stay with you. So repetition is important. And for that reason, yes, at my rallies, I say the same thing when I go to Detroit as I do in Philly, as I do wherever I am, to make sure that people hear and receive what I think are some of the most critical issues that are at stake in this election.
There has to be a high level of anxiety, too, when you have these conversations, though, because you are running for president.
I mean, you know what? There's certainly a lot of, I feel the weight of the moment and my role. I feel an extraordinary weight of responsibility right now to do everything I can. I'm telling you, Charlamagne, when I go to bed at night, I almost every night, in addition to my prayers, will ask, have I done everything I could do today? This is a margin of error race. It's tight. I'm going to win, but it's tight. And, you know, what is at stake is truly profound and almost and historic, many would say. And it's about, you know, some people would say this lofty notion of supporting and preserving our democracy. Mm-hmm. But it is about real issues that affect people every day, like whether we're going to maintain a $35 cap on insulin for our seniors, whether we're going to continue to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices to bring them down, whether we are going to have, as my opponent would have, a formalized stop and frisk policy, for which he has said if a police department does not do it, they should be defunded or not. There is so much at stake. Whether America is going to stand on its principles around the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity and stand with our allies around the world, or whether we're going to admire dictators and send during the height of COVID in the pandemic COVID tests that nobody could get to the president of Russia for his personal use when black people were dying every day by the hundreds during that time.
Yeah, I feel like that one has gone over people's heads, the fact that he was sending COVID tests to Putin.
I mean, you know, your listeners, the people we know, the number of people who lost their grandparents and parents. Remember what that was like during the height of COVID? And a lot of it, people were scrambling for the resources and needed tests. And Donald Trump, during that time, secretly sent COVID tests to the president of Russia, who, by the way, do not forget, in the 2016 election, because I was a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee when we investigated it, targeted black voters in 2016 with mis and disinformation to discourage black people from voting in that election. And this is just another of the very many examples of who Donald Trump really is, and the danger he presents to real people.
Sending COVID tests to Russia, that doesn't sound very America first at all. But it's not just you versus Trump, it's you versus misinformation.
Yes, that's true.
Right? And one of the biggest pieces of misinformation, one of the biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president, have been a champion for bringing marijuana down on the schedule. So instead of it being ranked up there with heroin, we bring it down. And my pledge is, as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the talkback feature.
My question for Kamala is, why are we, and I say we because my tax dollars is sending the money, why are we sending money to other countries when we desperately need it in our own country for homeless, housing, resources, for whatever? That is my determining factor if I vote for Kamala or not.
That's one of the reasons the America First rhetoric resonates, because nobody in America would complain about where money was going if American citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do. First of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader. That is in the best interest of our national security and each one of us as Americans and our standing in the world. That being said, we also have an obligation to American citizens, obviously, and people who are here to meet their everyday needs and challenges, which is why, for example, we have done the work in the last 4 years of bringing down the cost of prescription medication, whether it be $35 a month for seniors for insulin or $2,000 a year cap on prescription medication. What we have done that has been about putting $17 billion in our HBCUs. I am proud to be the first HBCU vice president of the United States. I intend to be the first HBCU president of the United States. Those resources are about sending them to centers of academic excellence that I know them to be. The work that I continue to do is about increasing access to capital for our small businesses. It is about increasing the opportunity for home ownership, knowing that black people are 40% less likely to be homeowners in America. We have a history of legal and procedural obstacles to that home ownership, starting with the fact nobody got 40 acres and a mule, to redlining, to issues that this Detroit area and people around the country know to be real. So part of my plan is that we're going to give people a $25,000 down payment assistance to get their foot in the door to buy a home for first-time home buyers. The work that I'm going to do to increase housing supply in America, knowing that that's one of the reasons that rents and housing prices are jacked up, and to work with the private sector, cut through the red tape, and work to build more housing, 3 million before the end of my first term. And I give these examples, and there are many more which I will offer. So, for example, the work that I will do to extend the child tax credit to $6,000 for young families during the first year of their child's life. Because as you and I both know, our families all have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources. Mm-hmm. So by expanding the child tax credit to the first year of a child's life to $6,000, that gives that young family the ability to buy a car seat or a crib or clothes, the things that are so important during that critical phase of that child's development, so that they can get on the road and actually have a chance at succeeding.
All right, when we come back, we will be playing more from my audio town hall with the Vice President Kamala Harris that we did live from Detroit. It's The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, a couple of weeks ago, Charlamagne got an opportunity to sit down with the Vice President Kamala Harris out in Detroit.
Yes, I did, man. So today is election day, so it's a great day to re-air this conversation.
That's right. We're going to get it back on. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Duzzo.
Charlamagne, what's up? Madam Vice President.
How you doing
today? As we say in Detroit, what up, though? So yesterday I read that there is a new opportunity agenda, a plan for black men, which includes a proposal of forgivable loans up to $20,000 for 1 million black entrepreneurs. What would you say to the people that would consider the timing of this proposal as political timing? And how would you speak to the sentiment that support for black men is only sought out during election cycles, and feels that building trust requires consistent engagement and genuine investment into the community outside of election periods and political benefits for politicians, and may view that some people in the Democrat Party use black Americans to play identity politics?
So first of all, thank you for your question and for being here. You can look at all my work to know that this, what I'm talking about right now, is not new and is not for the sake of winning this election. This is about a long-standing commitment, including the work that I've done as vice president and before when I was senator and before that. In fact, a lot of what I'm doing that is about my economic agenda and opportunity economy was born out of the work I did as vice president, before that as senator most recently, to get access to capital for our entrepreneurs. The work that I did in the Senate was about getting a couple billion more dollars into our community banks, and then building on that when I became vice president. I created, it's called the Economic Opportunity Council, bringing in some of the biggest banks and technology companies to put more into the community banks. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why, because I have been aware for years, black entrepreneurs only get 1% of venture capital funding. Of all the venture capital funding, only 1% goes to black entrepreneurs. We don't have the same rates of access to capital, be it through family or through connections, which is why I've done the work of putting billions more dollars and working to put billions more dollars into community banks, which go directly to the community. My work around the $20,000 is building on that and understanding that, I convened, for example, I said this earlier, a group of black entrepreneurs way before I was running for president in my official office at the White House to hear some of the obstacles that they were facing. And one of them was what we need to do around getting folks the help to just be able to buy the equipment they need to run their business. And oftentimes we find that when black entrepreneurs and black people apply for credit, they're denied at a higher rate than others. We have also seen, and the data proves this, that all of the realities also tend to dissuade black folks and black entrepreneurs in particular from even applying for credit. My point is to work on every way that we can approach the issue to encourage people and to invest in their ambition. Because I know the ambition is there. I know the talent is there. I know the innovation is there. And certainly the hard work ethic. So this is not new work for me. And
you should speak to the American Rescue Plan too, because tens of millions of dollars. I know small businesses in North Carolina small black businesses that got tens of millions of dollars because of that. I don't hear you speak to that.
That's right, and that was from when we first came in. The American Rescue Plan, the work that we have done, the infrastructure bill. Part of that is we made a decision that we were going to increase the number of federal contracts that go to historically underrepresented businesses. This was way before I was running for this, years ago. Mm-hmm. So this is not new work.
Let's go to the talkback feature.
On several occasions recently, Don Lemon has stated that there's a large group of black men who believe Donald Trump sent them a personal check during COVID because his name was on it versus it coming from the government as a stimulus check. Can you provide some clarification on this?
Speak to the stimmy.
I'm so glad you raised that. Mm-hmm. So here's what happened. A majority Democratic Congress fought to get those stimulus checks out, fought against resistance by the Trump administration, and won because we had a majority of Democrats in Congress. And that's why those checks went out. As we all know and grew up learning, Congress holds the purse strings. It was Congress that made that decision, and then Donald Trump, never being one to pass up an opportunity to give himself credit when no credit is due, put his name on those checks. And sadly, it resulted in people thinking Donald Trump was responsible for and directly responsible for putting money in their pocket, when in fact, it was a Democratic majority Congress that was responsible for those checks going out.
Why is it hard for Democrats to message their wins on the economy? Like, since World War II, the economy has done better under a Democrat president. Yeah. This is just a historical fact, but for some reason the narrative is that the economy does better under Republicans. Why do people believe that, and why don't Democrats push back on that narrative more?
Well, I think that part of the issue is that Democrats probably talk about it more in terms of what we are doing for people rather than the economy, when in fact, when you do for people, the economy grows. Mm-hmm. And you are absolutely right, Charlamagne. You will look at the growth of the economy and compare it Democratic and Republican administrations. Democrats have accelerated economic growth. My plan, for example, so some of the smartest economists in the country have reviewed and compared my plan to Donald Trump's plans for the economy. From Goldman Sachs to Moody's to 16 Nobel laureates, and even most recently the Wall Street Journal. And in comparing our two plans, the net result is my plans will strengthen the economy, his plans will weaken the economy. Mm-hmm. Their reports come back and include the fact that Donald Trump's plans for the economy would accelerate inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. My plans would strengthen the economy as a whole. You look at under what we've been doing, you look at the stock market as one of the strongest it's ever been. Wages have outpaced inflation. Inflation is going down to, I think it's now the most recent number is 2.4%. So, but those are, nobody wants to hear an Econ 101 lecture, right? But the reality of it, to your point, is that under Democratic rule, the economy gets strengthened, and certainly when you look at my plan for my presidency, it will strengthen the economy and it will help people. And as per the conversation we've been having today, perhaps the issue is that I'm going to always think about it in the context of how am I helping working people? How am I helping families? How am I helping people in the middle class? How am I helping people who have been without access, having access? That's how I talk about it. But my plan is about strengthening the economy. And I know when you strengthen the economy, that's how you do it. You do it by investing in the middle class. Let me tell you the contrast. Donald Trump thinks about the economy based on what he has done and will do. Cutting taxes for billionaires and the biggest corporations. That's how he thinks about the economy. He thinks about the economy not about middle class people trying to not just get by but get ahead. No, he wants to stop Medicare from being able to negotiate drug prices down from the big pharmaceutical companies.
That was part 2 of our conversation with Kamala Harris. Charlamagne got an opportunity to sit down with her a couple of weeks ago. It was a town hall meeting out in Detroit, and there was other people with you, right, Charlotte?
Yes, we were incorporating the talkback feature. It is a feature that iHeartRadio has where you can send in questions for us and send in questions for guests, so we incorporated that. But also Pastor Ken Locke, he's a pastor at the biggest church in Detroit, which is Triumph Detroit, as well as my man Icewear Vezo, E.T., and my man Zeke from New Era.
All right, we're going to get that back on when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. A couple of weeks ago, Charlamagne got a chance to sit down with Vice President Kamala Harris and just discuss everything. It was a town hall meeting out in Detroit, and let's get on part 3.
Let's go to Talkback, Eddie. What we got?
President Harris, our men and women in the military are sent to foreign countries to fight for their freedom. Win or lose, Donald Trump has promised to seek revenge. My question is, will our military be there to fight for our freedom after the election should Trump start another insurrection?
Well, you raise a profound point that is very much a part of this election cycle in terms of what the American people have a choice right now. So, January 6th, Donald Trump incited a violent mob to try and undo the will of the people and undo the results of a free and fair election. That violent mob attacked the United States Capitol. Over 140 law enforcement officers were injured. Some of them were killed. And he has said since then that there will be a bloodbath after this election. He has, on your point about the military, referred to members of our military as suckers and losers, which is why, by the way, do see the number of military leaders who worked under his administration who are supporting me. And I will point out what everyone knows, which is that the people who worked the closest with Donald Trump when he was president, worked with him in the Oval Office, saw him at play in the Situation Room, his chief of staff, 2 secretaries of defense, his national security advisor, and his former vice president, have all said he is dangerous and unfit to serve. Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, most recently articulated exactly that point. And again, here's Charlamagne, one of the things that I think is really ironic but at play. Donald Trump, through his way of trying to name call and demean and divide, tries to project as though those things are a sign of strength, when in fact the man is really quite weak. He's weak. It's a sign of weakness that you want to please dictators and seek their flattery and favor. It's a sign of weakness that you would demean America's military and America's service members. It's a sign of weakness that you don't have the courage to stand up for the Constitution of the United States and the principles upon which it stands. This man is weak and he is unfit.
We got a couple more questions. I want to get my man Eric Thomas in here because we only got like a few more minutes. Eric, real quick.
Only got a few minutes. Thank you, Madam Vice President, for having me. Thank you, Charlamagne the God. We know that there's been a lot of conversation about growing the middle class, but black men have been taken out of the workforce for a myriad of systemic reasons, from mass incarceration to racial bias, fear-mongering. We know that black men are not criminals. They are criminalized, and that has taken black men out of the home, has taken wealth out of the home. And so, especially in a city with such high poverty, I've heard a lot about middle class, but I would love to hear more about stair-stepping from poverty into middle class so they can take advantage of the opportunities and the policies you're talking about.
That's right, and that's real. So, for example, the child tax credit. When we did it, when I first became vice president, we cut black child poverty by half. And when you deal with poverty for a child, that's about the whole family, right? When you look at the work that we have done that has been about dealing with prescription medication for our seniors, black people are 60% more likely to get diagnosed with diabetes. And when you look at what people are in terms of on the verge of bankruptcy because of medical bills and medical debt, that's very real. So us capping the cost of something like insulin and prescription medication, not to mention the work that I've been doing to ensure that medical debt does not get included on your credit score, because medical debt comes about because of a medical emergency. Nobody invites it upon themselves. And back to the point about history and the reality of life, we also know the real disparities around access to meaningful health care, which are more likely to result in people facing chronic illness and in medical emergency. So my work has been and included working to get medical debt not be on your credit score, so that thing you did not invite upon yourself would not be the reason that you can't get a lease on an apartment or anything else. We have to deal with child poverty. We have to deal with poverty, period. And there are many specific ways to do it, including dealing with getting resources into the community that alleviate the burdens that hold people down.
So why is everybody sitting around acting like Donald Trump isn't going to plan to steal this election if he loses? Like, Republican officials won't certify the results of the election. We know it's Donald Trump's Supreme Court. Why are people acting like this is going to be a free and fair election and he won't try to steal it?
Well, but those are two different points.
Okay.
So it will be a free and fair election if we, the American people, stand up for that. I see it as this. I think that democracy it's like 2 points of nature. One, there's a fact about a democracy that when it is intact, the strength that it possesses in terms of the protection of people's individual rights and liberties. When a democracy is intact, we protect your rights and your liberties. Strength. Democracy is also very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness, we the people, to fight for it. And that, as much as anything, is what's at play in this election. Fight for our democracy. Flawed though it is, imperfect though it may be, because there are very two real paths right now. The man has told you he intends to terminate the Constitution. The man has told you all these things about his disregard and disrespect for your freedoms and liberty, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body. And he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would do exactly what they did. 1 out of 3 women in America lives in a state with the Trump abortion ban. Every state except Virginia in the South has an abortion ban. You know where the majority of black women live? In the South. In those same states that have some of the highest rates of black maternal mortality. And they want to strut around talking about this is in the interest of women and children, and they've been silent on an issue like black maternal mortality. But I know the people are aware and clear-eyed. And I do believe that people are going to go to the poll and they're going to vote to stand up for these principles and to stand up for their rights to freedom and liberty and to live and just be free to be. I believe that.
Madam Vice President, thank you.
I appreciate you, Charlamagne. Thank you.
All right. Well, make sure you go out and vote today. Today is election day. Cast your vote today.
Yeah, man. A salute to everybody in Detroit. Michigan, we need y'all to pull up big for the VP. And I just want to salute Reverend Solomon Kinlock Jr., the senior pastor at Triumph Church once again. Salute to my man Zeke, president and CEO of N.O.R.E Detroit. Salute to the good brother Icewear Vezo, rapper, entrepreneur. And salute to Eric Thomas, former chief storyteller of Detroit, for pulling up to the town hall a couple weeks ago. Salute to Chanel too, man. Chanel, what up?
All right. Now, when we come back, we got Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. So this is his first birthday behind bars, and his family, his kids, Justin, Quincy, Christian, Chance, Baby Love, and the twins posted a video of them singing happy birthday to him. Baby Love actually sung happy birthday to Diddy, and Diddy's on the phone. Let's take a listen.
Happy birthday to Daddy. Happy birthday to Daddy. Yay! I love y'all so much.
We love you too.
Can't wait to see y'all.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see y'all.
And I just want to say I'm proud of y'all, especially the girls. I mean, all of y'all, just for being strong. Thank y'all for being strong, and thank y'all for being by my side and supporting me. I love y'all. I got the best family in the world. My birthday, I'm happy. Thanks to y'all giving me this call. Thank you very much. I love y'all.
Love you too. Can't wait to see you in a couple of days.
I love you, Daddy. Yeah. I love you too, baby.
Man. I will note too, that's the first time that we've been able to hear Diddy from behind bars as well. Now there's still a lot happening in the court. So
Can I say one thing real quick, Lauren?
Go ahead, say it.
I just would like to say, and this is just, a broad statement. Okay, if you have kids should be enough for humans to make better choices. Yes. Always remember, destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. If you have those beautiful babies at home to take care of, that should be enough to always make the right choice.
Yeah, because listening to that was tough.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God,
that little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so there's still, I mean, it's crazy too because there's still more happening in court. Like, I mean, everything is still active even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore. And the people may be fatigued like we talked about prior to. So recently there was a guy who is now a grand jury witness. His name is Courtney Burgess. So this guy did an interview, and in the interview he claimed that he had these manuscripts from Kim Porter going back to the whole non-book conversation, and that he had some sex tapes. So he was caught outside of the court talking about it by TMZ. Let's take a listen.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another hearing to go.
Are you nervous or do you feel cool?
Nah, I ain't never nervous. Only thing that's fair to me is God.
Who is that now?
So that's a guy named Courtney Burgess. Now this guy claims that he wasn't close friends with Puff, but like they knew each other in passing because he worked in the industry and that he was an associate of Kim Porter's. So he's claiming that he received a manuscript that she wrote on a flash drive, and that also he was handed over some sex tapes, and he claimed that on these tapes that there are allegedly some celebrities and different people on them. Now he was coming out of court here in New York last week when he was caught on this video talking to the press. And what he said also too was that he handed everything over, the tapes and the manuscripts and all that. Kim Porter's best friend of 30 years, her name is LaWanda Lane. She's actually the caregiver of the twins right now. She came out this week and said, we don't even know this man. We don't know this man. And if there were manuscripts, we would have them and would have seen them first, because she says herself, she was responsible for packing up all of Kim's belongings when she passed away and distributing stuff to the family who wanted to take things, and there was no manuscript. So they're very confused about who this person is. And I will say too, when this video came out last week, I received just a statement from a source that just gave me a heads up that Diddy's team was actually going back to the court because of this video and saying, hey, we did the whole gag order thing between the attorneys, but can y'all please put something in place where these witnesses just can't go talk to the media and stir up these conversations and make things seem like they're real just because people hear a witness say, I've handed that over to the feds, right? So it'll be left up to the feds to determine what's real, what's not when it comes to these tapes that they're saying that alleging they have and the manuscripts and all that stuff. But I just think it's so insane that all of this is happening, and you got, you heard that baby girl on the, singing happy birthday to her dad. It's like, why would you even put yourself in a position like this? All those babies out here.
That's what I'm saying. Destiny's not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. When you got them beautiful babies at the house, you just got to make better choices. That goes to every human hearing the sound of my voice right now.
Well, that was Jess with the Mess. All right. Now, when we come back, we got the People's Choice mix. So don't move. Get your request in and get out there and vote. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And I want to remind you guys that tonight, the Native Land Podcast and The Breakfast Club will be live coverage, election coverage from Howard University. And you can check that out on YouTube. We'll be streaming tonight on YouTube. So
yeah, it'll be streaming on YouTube at Native Land Pod and at Breakfast Club Power 105.1 FM. Salute to the Native Land Podcast. That's the good sister Tiffany Cross, the good brother Andrew Gillum, and my good sister Angela Rye. So yes, we'll be broadcasting tonight, live election night coverage from Howard University tonight. Okay, just go to at Native Land Pod and at Breakfast Club Power 105.1 FM Pod. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it starts at 9 p.m. tonight.
All right. Now, when we come back, we got the positive notice. The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Now it's time for a positive note.
Yeah, the positive note is simply this, man. Today is election day. I'm about to go out there and do my civic duty. Y'all already know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Not telling you who to vote for, just telling you who I'm voting for. And I just want to let y'all know, man, if you like to complain, like I like to complain, then you have to go out there and vote. Because if you don't vote, you really don't have a say in what goes on in this country. And let's be clear, voting is just the beginning. Once you vote, you have to continue to push the people you voted for, if they win. You can't be afraid to criticize and challenge folks to make them keep their promises. All that talk on social media, YouTube, that's cheap. Okay, I repeat, talk is cheap, voting is free. Take it to the polls. Go do your civic duty today, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Breakfast Club, bitches! Y'all finished or y'all done?